Okay, so now I am going to dissect the thoracic cavity. And I've already made sort of an incision line onto where that needs to happen. I've cut down here, and I'm cutting here, and I'm using the spread scissors method to separate the connective tissue from the skin. Hopefully not damaging anything underneath. And it looks like this is going well so far. I don't know that I should be laying the scissors there, but here we go. Okay, so this is a rather lengthy process, and really don't want to make the video too long, seeing as you want it only 4 or 5 minutes, but that seems impossible sometimes with the way these go. So hopefully you can see what's going on here. All right, so there we go. Well, that's taking the skin anyway. Oh, look at that muscle. This muscle, it looks like muscle. Okay, so all right, so this is a thoracic cavity, and I'm probably not going to have my daughter help me edit this because it's a little intense. All right, let me turn the page. So I've made the incision as instructed. It's saying to use a scalpel to cut through the midline of the chest muscles. Right, so I'm going to start superiorly and cut inferiorly through the tissues that cover the sternum until the inferior region of the cage is reached. Okay. This is sternum, I would imagine, that area. And okay. I hope that I'm not damaging anything underneath, because I certainly don't want to do that. I'm coming back up. Okay. So I'm going to try to spread this area apart. And I made the second incision already down here, but I haven't cut through. Let me separate the connective tissue down here. Because it looks like that's still together and intact, yeah. So, okay. So now that's separated as well. Alright, so I think what we want to do is get into it. I don't want to damage anything under there, although I don't know, I might have, I'm not sure yet. Okay. So I'm going to separate the muscle tissue from the sternum and the ribs, if that's possible right now. It says not to use, it says I can use the scissors. It doesn't say anything about the scalpel. Clavicle. Shown in figure 3. Okay. Okay, I need to cut up here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut right here and hope that I don't damage any blood vessels or anything like that. And I can see organs already inside. So clavicle, be up further. It looks like we're into the organs already. Wow. It's pretty intense. So I can feel that there's bone here from the ribs. We're inside where the internal organs are. There's another muscle here I think I need to cut through. It's just muscle. And it might be a part of a rib. I think it would be that easy to cut though. I don't know. Yeah, if I could just cut this. That looks like it was part of a rib. Well, okay. So anyway, I'm opening it up. It's should be opened up, I think, up here as well. And it says to make multiple cuts on ribs on both sides and pull the pieces back individually, then cut them off at the dorsal side of the rib to expose the inside of the thoracic cavity. Okay, well, I don't know. Cut between the ribs. Okay, well, gosh, it's like, I guess you can still see this. I certainly don't want to cut into any organs here. I'm not sure how long this video is going to end up being, but definitely. Okay, there we go. But I think that we need to cut through this too here. So I'm going to try to cut through this. This is like the sternum area. It's very difficult to cut through. And there's a very hard, that's like, there's like a bone right here. Ooh, might have split something. Well, that's what I have so far. I'm not sure how to get through this. It feels like bone. Well, this part doesn't right here. Let's see if I can cut through this. There is bone or something really hard right there. So yeah, so look, you can see like the trachea. Oh, that's cool. It's a trachea. And assuming that's the heart. It's gotta be the heart, yep. Yeah, and the lungs. There's a lung right there. It's a lung. Yeah. And then the blue dye you can see is already down here. I haven't cut into the connective tissue and the membrane of that yet. Okay, so it says to remove any excess tissue or clotted blood that surrounds the heart. However, I don't see that. Might be some right there. Hope it's okay. See, and rinse the inside of the pig so that any clots and tissues are removed. Rinse the inside of the pig. Okay, well, let's go do that. I better stop the video now. Okay, so based on the picture in the lab, I'm going to try to name the parts that we have here. The external jugular, I think, is over here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. The internal jugular is going to be on the inside, and I don't know if that's something maybe I just need to cut through. I'm just running out of phone space to do this video, so I want to make sure that I cover everything that you had requested. So let me see if I can find that in here. Maybe the external jugular is on the outside, the internal jugular is on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to name the different veins of the cervical and thoracic regions of the fetal pig. And my phone is dying, so hopefully I can get through this. From what I can tell, the internal jugular is over here. I don't know if it's actually under here, because it might be. But it is over here. There's a vein here. You can see that. The cephalic vein is going to be right here. I'm so afraid to cut through these veins, so the cephalic vein is like right around here. The right subclavian vein is right underneath that cephalic vein, so I'm gonna have to say it's one of these veins here. I'm terribly afraid of cutting into these veins, if you haven't noticed. The external jugular is going to be the vein on the outside. The internal jugular is going to be the vein on the inside. I'm assuming that's these veins here. The left subclavian vein. Okay, so I'm using my daughter's iPad mini. So I just want to finish labeling all the things you wanted us to. So the external jugular vein, the internal jugular vein, the right subclavian artery is over here. In fact, I accidentally cut into some of these. The brachiocephalic trunk is right here. Hopefully this is all something you can see. The right ventricle, I guess, would be over here. The coronary artery is right here. Right here. Pulmonary artery is right here, behind this. Left ventricle is down here. The aorta is right in here. The aorta. I hope that's visible on camera. And the left subclavian vein is over here somewhere. And I know I cut through some of these veins already, but it's mainly because I had to hurry. My phone ran out of juice, is all I can say. So I think that's it. The cephalic vein, I think I already pointed that out. I'm also going to be labeling in my pictures, so you'll have that information as well. I hope this covers everything that you wanted. Yeah, I did the ventricles, the aorta, pulmonary artery. I just wanted to make sure that I covered everything in the video, because I know you have to grade it so that, we covered everything. I'm running out of time here. Yeah, so the internal jugular was over here. And the external jugular, as I said over here, external and internal jugular. These two veins here. Left subclavian vein, I think, is over here. And then the right one is over here. And one of these I cut through, as you can see, and it still has a red dye that comes out. The cephalic vein, actually, I think that's the cephalic vein. And the right subclavian vein would be underneath that. So that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and take my last photo and then put the pig back the way we're meant to. Thank you.